Good afternoon, Mustang Nation, families, students, staff. Just wanted to take a moment to check in with everybody, let you know where we are. As I had established in previous communications, wanted to find those various opportunities to stay in touch as we move through our current times that, as we see, continue to change on a daily basis. I wanted to start by thanking all of the families, students, and staff that have already contributed their input on the information forms. I want to clarify on there that we will be back out again in August, that what information we collected in July and during this time is not binding. We just needed to hear where people's thought processes were at this time so that can continue to guide our planning as we move forward. As it stands today, on Monday, we have had well over 3,000 people contribute information. Our families, we have about 2,600 families, and we're currently around 2,200 families that have already contributed information, well over 500 staff, and over 1,000 students that were in grades 5 through 12 that we sent this link to. So thank you. The information and the pattern of feedback that we've gotten up to this point has been very helpful. If you've not had a chance to complete the information on the link, please do so. We're taking that information up to Friday of this week, and then we'll be really looking at the totality of that feedback, looking for patterns to continue to guide us along the way. We are still on target for the week of August 3rd. If you recall, I did establish that date, that was the date that our board will finalize their decisions at that time, and we'll be using that week then to communicate with all of our stakeholders in regards to our plan, our path forward, and then with that information, we know then that everybody will have more information to make better decisions, and we'll be asking for those decisions as we move through the month of August. We know that the guidance keeps changing. Even with the new orders from the governor last week, we have been more informed with those orders. We also, holding off on our plans, which I know is frustrating, but this week, or last week I should say, the CDC was planning to come out with new guidance for schools. They have delayed that guidance to now the end of this month. So again, just to paint a little bit of a picture of how we're doing our best to navigate and pivot through this constant evolution of information to make sure that we're putting our best planning forward. Where we are looking at are three main options, and these options are not new to you. If you've been reading what's happening nationally, statewide, the three options: one is the full-time in-person instruction for those that want it, recognizing that we'll have a selection of families and students that will want something online. So having full-time instruction, but provide a very robust and excellent online program for those that want it. That's one option. The second option, that some may be familiar with, is the hybrid option. This is an option of varying degrees, but essentially has students coming to school for 1, 2, or 3 days a week. I want to note, when families are asking or looking at the hybrid, in the research modeling with the hybrid, it only works if, when students are in school for the 2 days, it only works if during the rest of the days of that week, students are isolated at home, period. So that's something that we're taking into consideration. When you hear about the hybrid models, they only work to have us be a successful mitigation strategy if families partner with us to ensure that when students are not in school, they're isolated at home. If there's community engagement, it really compromises the success of that mitigation strategy. So we're weighing that when we look at the amount of disruption and the amount of scheduling that's involved with the hybrid option. And then certainly the last option would be a full-time online for everybody. And that's the third option we're looking at. What you see on our board agenda tonight is a resolution that we were given guidance to adopt. Essentially, we're still under school code mandate for 180 days of traditional schooling. Knowing that these decisions have been thrown to the local level, we've been given this resolution so that our school board can exercise their authority to have the flexibility that may be needed through the year to have days, whether they be online or in person, count toward the 180 days. So that's a little bit of an explanation of the board resolution that you see on our agenda this evening. So again, I come to you just to check in with everybody. I know you would wish that I would have more concrete answers for you, and best I can say is I appreciate your patience and your understanding as we work through these next weeks to continue to consult the guidance coming our way to then have a plan and information out to you during the week of August 3rd. Thank you, stay well, see you soon.